Okay, hello everyone. Good evening. My name is Jennifer Tresp, and I will be your presenter tonight for our IUS track and field using the electronic score sheet and tabulator. This is completely new, so please understand that all the information we're giving you tonight is not a repeat. It is a fresh new presentation and slideshow. Okay. So let's get started. So the electronic score sheet, as in the past, you will receive it within 2 days prior to your meet, and you will receive that score sheet. It also has a built-in tabulator, and you'll receive that from your SOPA liaison. So if your SOPA liaison is Jason Marola, Ashley Herr, Lauren Salter, you will receive the score sheet from them a day or two prior. It is on a Google Doc, so you will need to download it to print. Okay, you might have to download to Excel to print it. Results, though, must be entered back into the electronic score sheet on the Google link. Okay? So during the meet, if you do have Wi-Fi at your track, you can keep score as you go. You can enter everything as you're going, and you will instantly have your results at the end of the meet. If you do not have Wi-Fi or you're doing a virtual event, please enter the results into the electronic score sheet after the meet so that the results can get in there quickly so both teams can see. An announcement can be made the next morning. Okay? But again, if you do have Wi-Fi, you'll be able to do this right at the track. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is the equalizer. The equalizer is a way to even the playing field for teams with different sizes. So we know that our maximum teams have 40 on them. Our minimum teams should be somewhere around the size of 12. So here are some things that you're going to need to remember. The team size. You use the number of students at the meet that day. Okay, use the number of students who attended that meet and compete in that meet. So this means if your team size is 40, but the day of the meet, you have 6 people who happen to be absent, and you would have a team size of 34. Okay? So it's who shows up that day for the meet. Teams that are under 12 students, you've got 12 on your team, but 2 are out sick. So now you only have 10. Your team size has to remain 12. So anything that is under 12, the team size will be 12. Okay, and 12 is because that's the minimum number of participants on a team. The team with the most numbers, okay, the most with the team members, the team members, the equalizer is going to be 1. Okay, so if you've got the 40 members, if you've got 36 and you're the highest number of team members, your equalizer will be 1. Right? Teams within 5 members of the team, the most members, the equalizer is still 1. Okay, so if you have 40 members on a team, and any team that would have 36, 37, 38, 39, or the 40, the equalizer is 1. Okay, and how do you find an equalizer? Basically, you're dividing the highest number of team members by the smaller number of team members to determine the equalizer for the smaller size teams. And I know you're thinking, Jen, that's all good and well, but I'm not going to remember this when it's time for the meet. Okay, but that's why we have it on the results page of the new equalizer. Okay, the electronic score sheet has the equalizer built in, and it's on page, I think, 8 or 9. It'll tell you it's the results page. So all the information I just gave you is right here in it. And then there's actually this little computer box that will work, and I'll show you how it works once we get into seeing the score sheet. So the highest team is 40, the smallest is 12. The smallest team, whoever this would be, gets an equalizer of 3.33. Okay. So we'll show you again that does work in the score sheet. So on the same results page above the equalizer, you will see a listing of the teams that are participating. You put in your number of participants for the day, and then whatever the equalizer tells you. Again, Fort LaBeouf has 40 team members, so they are getting an equalizer of 1 since they are higher than McDowell. McDowell will get an equalizer of 3.33. So whatever their total points are, they will multiply by the equalizer to get their final score. And we will be giving you these slides, so you will have these to help you at any time. Okay. This is a regular bib heat sheet. Okay. You'll see that it has divisions, the bib numbers, the names of the schools, the students, the entry. It says entry distance. It should say entry jump 1, 2, 3, and then the best jump followed by the place. Okay. Once you are putting in all the scores, okay, it'll calculate things for you. It'll calculate your best jump. It'll calculate your placement. If you have a student who didn't show up for school that day, all you need to do is remove the school's name. If you remove the school's name, you will see that their best jump will always be 0. And it may say 5 for 5th place. And again, no one gets points for 5th place because we only get points for 1st place, 3rd place, and 2nd place. Okay. And if and nobody will get points unless they have a name in the school name. Okay, so even though let's say Susie was gone, and let's say it would still say that she was in 3rd place because there were only other 2 participants in the division, because there is no school here, Susie will get no points. On a field event, okay, this one happens to be the long jump again. And as you go, see Susie Straw was here for Fort LaBeouf at this time before we scratched her from the meet. So Steve Jones from McDowell, the very top athlete, as you can see, jump 1 has a -1. This means it's a foul. Every time you have a foul for an athlete, you must put in the -1.0, okay, or -1. You can see down here, Carla Glass from McDowell. She's the 5th line down. She fouled all 3 times. Okay, so her best jump is a -1, and she will automatically be given the lowest place possible, which is 8. Okay, simply because she had 3 fouls. And again, the negative sign with the 1 causes it to show us it's a foul and put them in the last place possible. Okay. Scores must be entered as meters, dot, centimeters. Okay, so 2.90, 2.50, everything has to use a dot. If you don't put that dot in, you're going to get a huge score and probably an error notice. Okay, if you receive an error in the placement or the best jump area, it's because you entered a number incorrect. So always make sure you have the period in for all of your scores. Moving to the track events, each track event will have the lane assignments of 1, 3, and 5. Remember, we are running in every other lane for our meets as well at practice. Okay, so we will have up to 6 people in a division. So you'll see these are all in Division 1, except that we have 2 heats. So in the heats, we have 3 A's and then 3 B's. So again, they correspond to lanes 1, 3, and 5. Okay, that would be my first race. My second race, again, would be 1 and 3, because I do not have a participant in the lane number 5. I have my names, I have my school numbers, my bib numbers, and then the heat sheet will automatically take all 6 positions and score them 1 through 6 in the placement area. As you see, my placement is 1 through 5. Since nobody and no school was in the school name, it automatically makes it an NA, and no score, no placements will be given. Okay. Times under 1 minute when you're entering them, you must Oh no, it's reverse. Oh no. So times under 1 minute. Sorry about that. Times under 1 minute. Enter seconds dot milliseconds. So you must use that period or dot right in here. As you see on the green circle, the 56.6. So anything under a minute has a period in it. Anything over a minute, you have to use colons. So minute, colon, seconds, colon, milliseconds. As you'll see up in the purple circle, 1 minute. So the 1 minute is the 1. You've got the colon, the 01 for the seconds, and then another colon for the 05 milliseconds. And please note, if you do not use colons, it will come up with a placement that says error. Again, every time you see an error, go back and look at the scores you entered and make sure you use the proper punctuation in there, whether it's a colon or whether it's a period or a dot, whatever you'd like to call it. Okay, so running events, we need to make sure we're using under a minute. We need to make sure that we have a period in it. If it is over a minute, everything has to be colons. On relays, the sheet will look a little different. There is no space for team names. You will see that only the bib numbers will be placed on the sheet. So Fort LaBeouf's team members, there'll be the 5 team members and the 2 alternates. Whatever you registered as your team, just those bib numbers will be there. Whoever runs the relay, it must be a mix of these 4 to 6 numbers. You may not add anybody to this list, and this actually will be here for you, so you will not be able to change it. Okay, if you do not have 2 athletes and 2 partners, the team would have to be a scratch that day, and to scratch them, remember, you would just simply remove the school's name. You'll see a points key on every heat sheet page. You'll see this points key. What it's doing is it's totaling your points as you go. So you can see that this, whatever race this was, Fort LaBeouf finished in second place. They earned 3 points. McDowell High School took first place, received 5 points, and then Northwestern took third place and received 1 point. So for every heat, this will just continue to calculate. And by the end of all of the races, you will see that you will have a final total number of points for the schools who are involved in the event. I have 3 schools involved in the event: Fairview, Quarry, and General McLean. They did not participate in this event, so I will either black them out or just let them be. But they will not receive any points as long as they're not in the drop-down box. So this point key actually takes you over to the results page. Okay, so remember, we had Fort LaBeouf and McDowell in it. Now we added Northwestern. The first thing I did was I calculated the number of participants. I figured out their equalizers, and then that key that we just saw, okay, the points key, transfers all my points over to all the events. So you can see in the 100 meter, Fort LaBeouf took 23 points, McDowell 0, Northwestern 4. This will add everything up through the 400, the 800, the shot put, the long jump, the mini jab, the 4x100 relay, the 4x400 relay. I get my total points, multiplies it by the equalizer to get the final score. Once they are all put in, the overall placements will pop up, and it'll tell you who receives first, second, or third place at the end of your meet. So everything is set up right there for you. It pulled from all the sheets. So some things I need you to remember. Do not at any time remove a row, or a column from your score sheets. Anytime you remove a row or a column, you will mess up all my formulas. Okay? And don't attempt to change the points key box. Okay? Please leave the key box alone. It will actually be frozen, so you can't change anything in it. So please do not attempt to do so. Some things that I do want you to do. If you have any fouls, use the -1. Use colons for all times over 1 minute. Use a period for times under 1 minute. Remove the school name for absent school athletes. Okay, and do contact your SOPA liaison for any help you might need. Okay, we are here to help you. All right. So what I'd like to do is I want to take you into the score sheet. And I've already put in some information here. So you will see that we do have schools in, and this is what the heat sheet will look like when you receive it. So here is the 100 meter. I have 5 people in the first heat, only 3 in the second, and then I have 5 in the third heat. As it worked out, there was nobody in the 6th spot, but I'm going to leave it blank. I'm not going to remove it. I'm going to leave it here. Even though we're only going to run 1 heat of the Division II, because we only have 3 athletes involved in it, I'm still going to leave B there. I'm going to leave the heat B there. Please, again, if you remove any of these lines, any rows, any columns, it will mess up all the formulas. So again, I can't stress it enough. Please, please, please don't remove them. Okay, so you can see how everything will change. The only thing you will be able to do on this score sheet is put in final times. Okay, the entry time will come already set in, the names will be in, and the only thing you'll need to do is remove a student remove a school name if a student is absent. So for example, if we wanted to remove Joe Smith, all we do is right click. Oops, let's not even right click on it. Let's just highlight it. It's not cooperating. Highlight the row and delete the name. Okay, so I highlighted box E2, deleted the name. So Joe would have been in 5th place if he was here. Sorry, he would have been a non-NA if he was at the event. So his name will show up, his entry time will be there, but there would be no final time, and NA would be listed for him. Okay, so if we remove this one, Roger, we'd remove his score. We'd remove, we just have his name, no county. Okay, and it recalculates 1st, 2nd, and 3rd every time I remove somebody's school name. Even if I do put a score in, let's say Susan is in 3rd place, but I removed the school name because she is absent, and I accidentally put a score in, you'll see that she's in 3rd place, but nobody under the point key will receive her points for 3rd place because I don't have a school to link to Susan. Okay. So to put this, to re-enter it, I would simply put in the down arrow and re-add the schools in. Okay. Works the same way on the 400, the same way on the 800. Again, if you want to look at this point chart, you can see that Fort LaBeouf took a 1st place and they took a 2nd place. There's their points. Going over to McDowell in the points key, you'll see that they took a 3rd place only. They got their 1 point. Northwestern took a 1st and a 2nd, so they have 5 points and 3 points for a total of 8. If I jump over to, that was the 800. If I jump over to the results page, here you will see the 8, 1, and 8 for the points that were received during that event. Again, those key points boxes are the ones who transfer your points over for you. All right, so here's shot put. Again, remember that if I have a foul, I will put a -1 in the box, the -1. Okay, as you can see, Joan Snyder from McDowell, she fouled out all 3, so she is down here in 8th place. Okay, so no points will go to McDowell for Joan Snyder because she is in 8th place. Works the same. Again, please do not remove any of these empty boxes. There is, the division is 1. There are 8 slots for team members, since we can go up to 8 people in the division. Okay. My first division has 5, second has 3, third one has 2. Long jump works the same way. Mini jab works the same way. And then here are the relays, again with the bib numbers in, the name of the schools, entered the scores, follows the same thing for the points key. Okay. Here's the 4x400. We had nobody competing in this one. And then here's the results page again. All right, so Fort LaBeouf had the 1. McDowell had 12 participants. Okay, so again, if you look at the participant area here, participants and equalizer, here's the 40 for LaBeouf for the highest team. Then for McDowell, we put a 12 in here to get the 3.33. If we wanted to see what Northwestern's would be, we would change the 12 to a 16, and it would tell you it's the 2.50. Okay, and then I put the 2.5 right in this box, and it will take care of calculating everything for me. If we had a team who had, we still have that 40, here's what it looked like if they have 20 members, they'd be getting a 2.0. Remember, if in the example here, there's 26 on the team. So go 26 and then back 4, 25, 24, 23, 22. Anyone with these numbers, if it was a 22, they would only get a 1. Okay. All right, that is the score. That is our new score sheet. Didn't take very long to go over, but I'd like to open it up for anyone who might have questions. I don't see anything in the chat box. So are there any questions? Anything you would like to go back over? Again, you'll get the score sheet 2 days prior to your meet. You'll have to download the sheets for the meet, enter all the results in the electronic score sheet. If you have Wi-Fi at the track, you can enter down at the track, and you will have your results instantly at the end of the meet. You saw how quick and easy they go in. So all you'll have to do is figure out your equalizer, enter your scores, remove the school name from anyone who was not there that day to compete.
We just had a question pop up in the chat box. So for bib numbers, your UCS liaison will be mailing them to you. I would most likely sometime this week. Yeah. Jen is that person's liaison.
Remember, any team that has under 12 students on it, the equalizer number would be, for the team, would be 12. For the number of participants that day, it would be 12. Ashley, what's popped up in the box?
She was just saying thank you, so we're good.
Oh, you're welcome. Again, the team with the most team members, equalizer is 1. Within 5 of the top number, equalizer is 1. Here's another example for you. All set up for you right here in this on your results page. Here's where you put your numbers in. Okay. Remember, The only thing you will be able to do is enter numbers and remove schools. Field events, remember -1 for the foul, and use the period between your meters and centimeters. Remember, this year, everything is metric for field events. Okay. Everybody's okay with the lane numbers, division, and the heats? This might be something new that you'll have to work with your athletes and partners on, explaining to them that if there's a heat A and B, they are actually scored together. Okay, so heats A and B are scored together, as you can see the placement right here. Relays all the bib numbers in one box. Don't touch the point key. It's kind of fun though to watch the points go up for the teams. Your scores will pop up automatically over here. Then with you already have put in your equalizers, so you will get a final score and a placement. Ashley, what do we have in the chat box?
So if the home team is keeping score, does the visiting team have to input it too? So if you're in person, yeah, go ahead. No, go, you go.
Okay. All right. So if you are in person, yes, the home team will enter it. Nobody else has to do it. The home team will take care of it. Just verify with the home team the number of participants you have that day. If it is a virtual meet, you will have to enter your own into the score sheet. So if you have two schools and you're competing virtually, you'll each get a link to the same score sheet, and you each just go in and put your scores in. Remember to remove the school for anyone who is not in attendance. Good questions. All right. Well, that was a good half hour. So what we're going to do now is, if there are no questions, I'm going to stop the recording. You are free to go if you would like to. If you came on late or have some questions, please feel free to stick around. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night.